well, though most farmers have a good grasp of the land. Mine's bizarre discovery is the best at what they do, but there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. Get ready to be amazed by the strange and wonderful things that farmers have discovered in their fields. Python ingested an entire goat. Look at this enormous reptile struggling with a bloated belly. This is a perfect example of how flexible these pythons can be. A few years ago, a farmer in India came across a 15-foot-long python while looking for his goat. At first, it wasn't clear what the larger reptile was, but it turned out to be the culprit. The farmer was looking for his missing cattle. After the python devoured a whole goat, the slithering sneaker was trying to escape silently, but before it could do so, it was captured and given over to the forest officials. Tragic rescue mission falls miserably. Rescue attempts don't always succeed. In one such instance, a group of hikers were on the summit of a mountain in northern New Zealand when they came across a sheep with its head stuck in a fence. They decided to help free the animal, but footage from January 2013 shows that the sheep fell to its death because the hiker hadn't properly considered the steep hill. Before we move on, please subscribe our channel. Unusual fetus. This is a deformed baby goat that was born in Nigeria without a head. Some villagers saw it and couldn't believe it. The mother goat had given birth to 2 healthy babies, but this one didn't make it. It had a normal body but no hair, and everyone was shocked. Massive crocodile. Now take a look at the frightened onlookers as they prepare to behold a gigantic wingless dragon. I know, I just said dragon. But seriously, this reptile was so enormous that its long, spiny tail touched the ground. It was lying on a large truck, delicately tied with ropes, but it was still attempting to escape. This enormous crocodile, estimated to be 17 feet long, was discovered stuck in a canal in Sri Lanka. Luckily, an excavator was brought in just in time, giving this prehistoric beast a second chance to celebrate 100 years of life. He came upon an enormous anaconda sprawled on the ground, its body swollen with the weight of its recent meal. Worst yet, as he peered into its belly, he saw what seemed like a cow or a massive goat, but no, it was actually another anaconda, retrieved from the body of the largest snake. It may sound strange, but it's actually quite common for larger females to eat smaller males, particularly during mating season. In this case, the male ended up entangled in the female's belly. Insect resembling a human. It could be a scar or a natural mark. Or it could be that this spider is being pranked by its peer. Someone living in the Nagan district of Assam captured a video of a spider with a humanoid face on its back. The goal was to find out what kind of spider it was, and the video quickly became viral online. Some think the expressions were imprinted, but others disagree. Insect. If you're the kind that gets the willies just looking at cockroaches, you're in for a real treat. In China, these squirmy pests are actually a delicacy, and farmers even have dedicated farms where they breed and keep as many as 10 million cockroaches. Among them is La Bingsa, who isn't afraid of or disgusted by cockroaches. In fact, he thinks they're beneficial to health and can cure a variety of diseases. How about you try a cockroach dish? Dine with Komodo on Minor. This ravenous Komodo dragon was seen viciously devouring food from a wild goat and pig family, even though most meat eaters like their steak rare, medium, or well done. While most animals would gladly take the life of their prey, Komodos are much more likely to swallow their victim whole. Unfortunately, when their prey tries to evade their jaws, the venom they inject dilutes the blood, causing the victim to bleed to death. Resolving acute childbirth. With the right amount of information, you can fix more than simply commonplace devices. You can even fix a biological flaw. An inexperienced chicken farmer came into a bougie parrot that was comatose and defenseless due to an egg binding problem. When a parrot suffers from egg binding disorder, it takes much longer than usual to lay eggs because the bird is unable to expel them. Thankfully, a farmer with experience with the condition helped the parrot by applying oil to help the bird withdraw her eggs, relieving her of the excruciating pain. Thanks to this act of kindness, the parrot's faith in humanity was restored. Horned goats. Goats that have more than one horn, it may appear like another case of deformity, but there's actually a lot more going on here. In May 2014, farmers in Romania discovered a goat with what appeared to be 3 horns. At first, it was thought to be a genetic disorder. However, the goat had calves with multiple horns as well, so it seems like these goats could be worth a lot more if they don't have any major genetic defects other than the extra horns. Serpent struck a goat. A few months ago, a video surfaced showing a massive serpent attempting to suffocate a small goat. Despite the goat's cries for help, the serpent continued to coil and constrict, trapping the animal in front of its terrified companion. At various points, the goat stood up and sat down, fighting for its life. Thankfully, 2 villagers came running over to rescue the pair, giving the goat a second chance at survival. Pleasant surprise. It may be a pit full of snakes, not only antique treasures. As a Texas farmer and his friend were trying to bring down a windmill, one of them noticed a few snakes slithering onto the cabin. Thankfully, they were able to avoid what could have been a major catastrophe. Gorman and the farmer made the shocking discovery of more than a dozen poisonous snakes concealing under the old cabin. Create poisonous offspring. This video caught my attention because it shows a female puff adder giving birth to 57 young. Unlike other snake species, puff adders don't lay eggs but instead give live birth. The venomous newborns don't need to be injected with anything special. They just unfurl and start slithering right after birth. Fetal kangaroo. A farmer in Kakamega came across this unusual kangaroo-shaped calf and couldn't believe what he was seeing. The calf was born with 3 other normal calves, but its abnormality brought it a lot of attention. The cow belonged to a farmer named Javan Shisha, and many people would go to see it. The calf had some problems standing up, but its mother was there to support it. In addition to Shisha, his family adores the magnificent kangaroo calf. Goat with an unusual abnormality. Nearby, a villager who kept goats as pets discovered a goat that was born with a rare abnormality. It had no legs whatsoever. Surprisingly, the goat not only survived, but thrived. It still has trouble getting around, but the locals care for it so much that they provide for its basic needs, including feeding it. Swift against python. Struggle for existence. With both of them being of equal stature, the python faced a formidable challenge in the battle of who would become the predator and feed on the other. A man shared footage from his backyard showing a moment when a python, caught in the jaws of a crocodile, tried to slither around the crocodile to squeeze on it tightly. The python wanted to save itself and eat the crocodile, but the crocodile's vigilant defenses painted a picture of eventual victory. Scavenger rooster. So, you're familiar with literary folktales, right? Like the rooster in the Emperor's New Clothes. This one is a living embodiment of during July 2018. An Indonesian farmer named Fazan shared a video of his featherless rooster, Buell, who, unlike its peers, frequently gets colds. Buell quickly became famous online, but he still needs his loving farmer to take care of him. He loves to communicate through chirping sounds, and his fat content is easily measurable. The cow-eating snake. Although cows typically eat plants, this particular one has chosen to eat more meat. Why is that? In March 2018, a farmer from Queensland was shocked to find one of his ginger dairy cows devouring a little snake on his farm. The farmer, worried that the snake would bite his cow, approached to remove it, but to his shock, the serpent had already died. What was more shocking was that the cow appeared to be enjoying eating the scaly snack, as if it were a string of noodles. The farmer insisted that the snake had done no harm to the cow. Helping a stranded cow. It seems like these predators are opting for the easier prey. In July 2023, a farmer in Tamil Nadu, India, discovered a ferocious big cat attacking one of his cows on a barren road. Without any tools or weapons, the farmer stepped in to rescue his cattle, and the lioness, one of the most formidable apex predators that hunt in packs, was scared off and abandoned the mission. There was little hope for this cow's survival. When the lion took the roof. Seeing a lone cat on a rooftop might sound ordinary, but an adult azistic lion resting on top of a farmer's cabin on the outskirts of Gujarat state, India, was anything but. The only thing the farmer could do, without endangering himself, was to wait it out. After more than an hour, as the sun began to set, the lion got off the roof. As it crossed the farmer's path, accompanied by his dog, managed to repel it and send it running.